Spain just shocked American scientists with this. Guys, we are absolutely here for all of this. Let's check it out. If you guys didn't know, I live in Spain 7 months out of the year. I'm in Georgia the rest. So we're here for this, guys. Let's check it out.
If you're asked to show the only mainland desert in Europe on the map, where will you point? Many people will have a problem doing so, but look at the map of the continent showing on your screen right now
obvious.
in green. You will see Spain pop up in blue. The desert.
And it's because Spain is bombarded with sand from the Sahara Desert. Bombarded, guys. So the summertime, or certain months out of the year, specifically the southern tip, Andalusia, Costa del Sol, Malaga, very specifically, you can literally go outside when these things are going on at that very special time of year where sand is in the air. Okay, guys, it's just blown over the Mediterranean. It's wild.
Is known as the Tabernas Desert, which
There's
you can
more
see
sand
in gray.
than air.
However, Spain does not just have a desert within its border, but
Visible.
it has a desert problem as the desert is expanding. But the government of Spain is fighting back. This video is about how Spain is turning its desert into green forest.
Tabernas is in
Many people know
Almeria.
about the Atacama Desert in Chile, the Sahara Desert in northern Africa, and the Gobi Desert in China. However, there is a desert in Spain that manages to maintain a relatively low profile, named the Tabernas Desert. Located in the Andalusia region of Spain, the Tabernas Desert begins around 30 kilometers north of Almeria. The area, which is strictly speaking only a semi-desert, extends over 280 square kilometers or 28,000 hectares. This region gets more than 30,000 hours of sunshine every year. In the summer months, temperatures can easily climb to between 35 and 40 degrees Celsius or 95 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. The place is lucky if it gets more than 250 millimeters of rain during the entire year.
Yeah, where I live
However,
doesn't
when
rain
it rains in
a
the
lot
Tabernas Desert, it pours. This often causes flash floods, which in turn cause erosion. This has resulted in the marls and sandstone in the region being sculpted magnificently by nature. These heavy rains cause a type of landscape known as badlands, one of nature's most fantastic features. This consists of dry terrain that has been systematically eroded by rain and wind for an extended period of time. While the desert area is not able to support many animals and plants, what it is good for is backdrops in adventure movies.
A lot
in fact,
of movies have
directors
been
have
filmed
shot
there. Yeah.
more than 500
a
movies
lot
in
of
the
westerns.
Tabernas Desert. One of the most
I think there was one of the Clint Eastwood movies were filmed there.
popular is Arnold Schwarzenegger's Conan the Barbarian. Spain, however, has a serious ecological problem: desertification. In fact, in Europe, Spain is the most vulnerable to desertification.
I don't know, guys. For example, where I live in Spain, I live in the mountains. I'm about 8,000 feet up, guys. There's no desert there, because I'm guessing the sand hits the mountains and just falls off or something, guys. Because there's definitely we're not affected at all by this. Even though I'm pretty close, I'm somewhat close. Well, I'm between Granada, Antequera, and Malaga, right? And the Tabernas Desert does affect somewhat the southern tip of Granada, but again, I'm surrounded by mountains and I'm high up, so this is not something that really affects me very specifically at all. But it will affect a good portion of, no, not even a good portion of Spain. I would say a small portion of Spain, but enough to be obviously noticeable.
According to the National Action Programs, NAPS, for the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, 74% of Spain's landmass is at risk of desertification, while 18% of the country could become irreversibly desert. Within Spain, the regions of Murcia, Valencia, and the Canary Islands are the most endangered areas, with a high or very high risk of desertification across.
The Canary Islands are volcanic, guys. I don't know. That one may be a stretch. The other ones, Valencia, absolutely.
90% of the territory. Much of Spain's desertification problems are caused by humans, such as overfarming and excessive irrigation, which erodes soil and drains aquifers. The problem exists on a daunting scale in Spain, where agriculture has steadily industrialized and 3/4 of the landmass is already generally dry or semi-arid. Following the change of use of land expropriated from the Catholic Church in the 18th and 19th centuries, destructive mining and farming techniques wreaked havoc on the soil structure and water table. For instance, while economic analysts are happy with how Spain increased its income from agriculture in the last decade, environmentalists are not happy with the toll on the water table. The agricultural practices gulp almost 7 times as much water consumed in all the households in the country. As a result, in many areas, once productive land has become incapable of producing enough crops to support human or animal life, although some vegetation may hang on. In fact, satellite imagery shows that a further 1% of Spanish territory is actively degrading because of brutal agricultural practices. It is important to clear up a common misunderstanding.
The problem with this is it may all come down to actual income, right? The average person that I've encountered, at least in Spain, they're not making a gigantic amount of money at all. I think, like in America, there are people who don't work and make more money than a lot of people in Spain. So I would say this here: if the economic situation in Spain was to actually become better, right, then I personally think that they would stop doing those practices, because all they're doing, they're the agricultural section of society absolutely needs more money, right? But they're over farming and overdoing everything so they can get more money, right? That's really what it is, guys. It's all finance based. Fix the finances, fix most of the problems in Spain.
Ending of the word desertification. It doesn't always mean the desert is expanding, but it's about the misuse or overuse of natural resources at a rate faster than the rate they are being restored. Spain, however, is not watching helplessly as the desert takes over all its land. The effort to turn back the hands of desertification is happening in concert with the industry players themselves, the people who are directly affected the most.
Guys, hold on. What's funny, I'm gonna let you know right now. So I live in oh gosh, guys, you don't even see it. Let me move it like this. All right, look, you see this guy here in the corner, right? So I live in a very small village, I would say, in the mountains. Roughly 5,000 people live there. Here's the thing, okay? Now, 5,000 people for Spain is a small village, all right? Because I lived in the city at one time, also in Malaga, and there are millions of people there. So just right. And anyway, so this outfit that this guy is wearing, I call this. I call this the uniform, like the old man uniform. Any man above the age of, I would say, 50 has this exact outfit. At least 17 of them in his closet. Okay, this is a fact. I'm trying to teach you something, and if you didn't learn anything from me today or ever, this is how you dress when you go to Spain. All right, this right here, this guy right here. Oh, you don't even see me. This guy right here. All right, this is the uniform. Absolutely. Let's see if we can get this back to this. Fit to screen. All right, let's go.
Take, for example, the effort of Alvelal, an eco-business movement dedicated to restoring the biodiversity of the degraded areas. Alvelal has a massive 20-year program and concentrates on a huge tract of land that spans more than 1 million hectares, touching Almeria, Granada, and Murcia. Alvelal was started by growers and entrepreneurs who are developing regenerative agricultural schemes funded by foreign investors and philanthropists that will nurture the soil and the microbiology that is slowly but surely being annihilated. The returns are not quick, and it may not be until 2035 before
this is kind of what my village looks like right here, just like this.
They begin to see tangible results.
But much more olive trees, because where I live in Spain, there's like an olive tree, like olive oil factory, right? So hence the reason why there are millions of olive trees.
Even though they're spending 1.3 million euros annually. The bitter truth is, while the degradation might have been swift, reversing it takes time and money. There is something else about the impact of the Alvelal project. Experts predict it could even change the local climate. This is because it will lead to more water in the soil and more evapotranspiration from the trees. Alvelal is focused on a piece of land the size of Madrid, where it plants more ecological almond trees than anywhere else in the world, about 50,000 hectares. The association involves 250 entrepreneurs and researchers, as well as ecologically minded individuals. Funding is received from Common Land and other organizations like the TUI and the Leopold Bachmann Foundations for creating alternative and sustainable businesses. Regenerative agriculture covers over 8,000 hectares and consists of 40 farms with tree-based crops. Alvelal hopes to double the area where it is active in 2 years.
This is super
Common
smart,
Land
guys.
is a Dutch NGO. This group has enjoyed success in reversing desertification in Africa and Australia and is now offering to help in Spain. After considering many applications from concerned landowners, they decided to start with the plateau of Almeria. The NGO said Almeria got the nod because of the degree of erosion and depopulation among the worst in the region. Common Land will achieve its goal by empowering rural people to take charge of their own destinies and participate fully in the effort. What Common Land plans to do is replicate the Great Green Wall of Africa in the Sahel region.
What's happening here? Yeah, absolutely genius to do this because if you look at the map, it's pretty obvious where the Sahara Desert kind of begins and where it ends, right? I mean, there's obviously like a gradient that happens, but there is absolutely a Great Green Wall, right? People are planting things to literally stop the death of their land, right? Smart, absolutely genius, guys.
Huge forest stretching across the width of the continent, combined with rural development projects, could halt the spread of the Sahara and bring swathes of Africa's degraded landscapes back to life. Alvelal has planted thousands of trees on the slopes of La Muela, where it hopes to tackle the problem on multiple fronts. It's attacking soil erosion, regenerative agriculture, sustainable livestock operations, water conservation, and depopulation. Depopulation is a huge issue here.
Oh my. Spain in general has like a depopulation issue. They build, for example, there are things in Spain that go back like 800 years, right? 1,000 years, right? So like be fully aware, they build cities, then these cities fall, then another city right next to it falls, then they build another city, and then those two groups of people merge together and make a huge overpopulated place, right? And this happens all the time. Like, this is why you can buy like ghost cities, ghost towns in Spain. All that land, all these buildings, no one is there because there's no more like money to be made there generally, right? There's just nothing there for them. So they move to a bigger city. And if you're in like specifically like Andalusia, you're probably going to end up being somewhere in one of the Valeses, Velez Blanco, Velez Malaga, right? Like that area, that overall area of Costa del Sol. Yeah, that's where everyone kind of runs to. But no, Velez Blanco is a dead city though, guys. They probably all went to Velez Malaga. There's a whole lot of people there, guys.
People tend to move away from places where they can't make a living. For example, Velez Blanco had a population of 7,000 in the 50s, but nowadays the town can only boast of 2,000.
Yeah, I can
The
see
group
that.
recognizes that farmers have to be incentivized to continue to take part, because if they can't see a way...
Yeah, I'm almost positive, even though Velez Malaga isn't that close, they honestly probably went to like Almeria or like Valencia or something, right? But Velez Blanco is like, it's like a meme, guys. It's literally a meme.
to make a profit, they will abandon the scheme. For this reason, there is a focus on putting money into local companies that are embracing sustainable development. One of such businesses is Almendra Hesse, which is now exporting its Pepita de Oro brand to the UK and Germany. The company can command a premium for its products. For instance, while the standard almond goes for £4.5 per kilo, organic ones can sell for up to €7.5 per kilogram. Meanwhile, individual farmers are joining in the fight too. Some of them have willingly changed their farming practices to help the tired soil recover. For example, to bring nitrogen back to the soil, they have planted several species of grass and leguminous plants for vegetation cover, perfected over the last 7 years in order...
If you see this image right here, this is Almeria, and every time you drive like on the highways, you'll look over because obviously all the highways in Spain, there's like these super crazy overlooks where you can kind of see the city before you even get to the city, because there's always land, a lot of farmland generally up into the city. And for the most part, I think it's called like the plastic city, because everywhere you look in Almeria, it's just plastic everywhere, covered. It's not I'm not going to disrespect Almeria like that, but like, it's not very pretty. I'm sorry. Okay. It's disruptive to my eyes visually. All right. Cause I'm like, bro, beautiful mountains and landscapes, right? Photography is crazy, right? Everything looks amazing. Right. And then you see like this artificial plastic, but now I kind of understand now why they're doing that now. So maybe I'll be more accepting of this the next time I see it, and kind of disgusted that it's ruining my photos. All right. I will now look at it and be like, all right. I see what you're doing, Spain.
To dispense with the plastic used in greenhouses elsewhere in the region. Apart from embracing sustainable agriculture, many of them have gone a step further and become involved with regenerative agriculture, which is concerned with the health of the soil and uses minimal plowing. Some of their parents and grandparents used toxic pesticides that are now banned, but this generation of farmers, having seen the negative effects of these substances, are now opting for more environmentally friendly agricultural practices. Other old farming methods led to the loss of fertile topsoils, resulting in losses of over 20 tons of soil per hectare on average. What is even more inspiring about Spain's effort to combat desertification is that other countries are trying to duplicate the effort to help them fight desert in their own country. For example, Alfonso Chico de Guzman, who runs a farm that has been in his family for generations, is also participating in Alvelal's programs. He operates a land restoration camp on his 1,000-hectare farm, La Janguera, which attracts volunteers from all over the world. He also hosts a regenerative academy that takes students, all of them foreign, who are writing their research thesis on agriculture. Let's hear what you think of human activities causing desertification in the comments section below. If you're asked...
I think this is probably one of the best examples that we kind of destroy things when we, this is the best example of it, I would say, right? There are a lot of theories out there. There are a lot of people who say these things don't exist, but yeah, this is caused by human activity. Absolutely. Okay. This should tell people that humans do have the ability to affect what's happening on Earth. Just say that. I'm not going to argue the point. I'm just going to move on and say, right. Yeah, guys, I'm happy that they're doing something to kind of fix this. I mean, absolutely. I love the fact that they're trying to at least do something to stop that. But I will say again, even though I'm not affected, I know there are many people that are affected by this in Spain. There are literally swaths of places, mainly in Almeria, right, that look like that, right? Just straight desert, tumbleweeds, right? Literally looks like what we Americans would say the Wild West looked like. Hence the reason why so many of our like iconic American westerns have been filmed there, right? Oh God, guys. All right, so listen. So I think this is what I'll do today, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and put this video on the main channel to kind of show you guys what we do on Boyd's Void, our secondary channel, right? This is the type of content that generally is put there. So guys, definitely go over there and we will continue this thing. Once we get a little bit more of you guys over there, we'll go ahead and obviously start the, at least daily uploads over there instead of like every 3 days. We'll start daily uploads once we get a couple of you guys over there that are interested in this type of thing. Generally science-y, the historical type of things that this definitely interest me, right? And if that interests you, then come hang out with us, guys. But yeah, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day and enjoy it thoroughly, all right?